Hello everyone, welcome to the Hope Package. In today's lesson, we will focus on the emotional ability resource of happiness. What is happiness? It is that butterfly that flies away when you chase it. However, when you do certain things in a day-to-day manner, happiness tends to come and rest on your shoulder. So, are there 12 simple techniques by which we can create happiness? Yes, this has been my experience in my decade of being a therapist, that when people take small concrete steps on a daily basis, they do manage to experience happiness in a concrete everyday way. So what is it that you can do? Firstly, eat well. Yes, you heard me right. We need adequate nutrition because if we are constantly hungry, our brain does not let us think good thoughts. The brain feels deprived and gives us a signal that all is not well with our world. So what we need to do to create happiness is have certain basic needs of the body being met. The first one is eating well. Next one, rest. Do you have adequate rest? Do you go to sleep at a particular time? And do you wake up at that time? Maintaining the body's circadian rhythm. Do you know when you have your bedtime sorted out, your brain wakes up absolutely relaxed. It looks forward to the day ahead, even when there is pesky homework to be done. And if someone yells at you, you are able to shrug it off. So I really want you to have a good time to go to bed every day. And yes, you need adequate sleep. 7 to 8 hours is recommended. Next is enough water. Water is the elixir of life. So when you are well hydrated, all the toxins from your body are eliminated. Your liver functions well, you are able to digest food quickly, you feel absolutely perky, and your hunger and satiety center in the brain is always satisfied. There is this concept of osmotic pressure that is maintained when there is adequate water in our brain. So if you really want to remember the lesson that you learned, what you need to do is check. Have you eaten well? Have you rested well? And have you had enough water? These 3 steps are very basic if we are trying to create happiness. Next one is smile. When you smile, all your facial muscles are used, and what your brain understands, yes, my world is comfortable and there is something nice to look forward to. So smile more often. Initially, it may feel slightly different than what you are used to, but over time, smiling becomes your natural self and you release tension automatically. Think about it. When you are smiling, can you feel angry? Usually not. Step number 5, practice gratitude. Thank someone on a regular basis. Your mother has cooked you a good meal. Thank her. Thank you, mommy. This looks really nice. Thank the person who teaches you a good lesson. Tell your teacher, ma'am, that was so nice. I felt really good. Thank your friend if they have done something for you, shared their tiffin, spoken about something, cracked a joke. So when you get into this attitude of gratitude, you learn to create happiness in little things in life. The next one is do an activity outdoors on a regular basis. Nature is a very big healer. So when you go out and you run, you play, you exercise or do a sport, you are able to release endorphins in your system. So you feel less pain, whether it's physical or psychological, about some anxiety that you are carrying inside you, and you are much calmer and you are completely full of joy and verve. Sometimes, even on holidays and all, you could try going for a hike, you could try skipping. If nothing is available, what you could do is just do jumping jacks on your balcony. That didn't sound too difficult, right? So try and connect with nature, and suddenly you start feeling as though you are part of something which is beyond you. The next step to creating happiness is experiencing new things. Try doing something new on a regular basis. Perhaps you could try to make chocolate bonbons if you are not supposed to cook food, but that is on the fire. You could try making chocolate bonbons. I remember when I first learned to make chocolate bonbons, I was very excited. Some cocoa, some biscuits, and butter. Knead them together, and voila, you had these amazing bonbons to eat. So try and experience something new on a regular basis. Experiment with the paper you have in hand. Perhaps make a boat, maybe make a nice card. So when you are in that zone of being creative, you start feeling good about life in general. That boredom that strikes does not come that easily. The next step is aim. Set a goal. Have a goal. It could be very simple. Okay, I'm going to watch TV for just 1 hour today, and the rest of the time I'm going to find someone to teach. Does someone in my neighborhood need my help? Another child whom I could teach? Does my mother need help in the kitchen, or while doing up her accounts, or while doing something on the computer? Most children these days are very tech savvy. They can actually find something to do for older members in their household. So set small goals for yourself. What is my daily goal? What is my weekly goal? And what is my goal for the end of the year? The next step is meditate. Just that space where you are spending time with yourself, like you're listening to me speak to you. Try and listen to your own self. Just see what kind of thoughts do you think. Actually observe them. Like you are observing me, try and observe your thoughts. Are these thoughts helpful to me, or these thoughts create knots of tension in my stomach? So just learning to meditate is something which gives us emotional strength, and over time we get very comfortable with who we are. Perhaps right now meditating sounds like a very big deal, but even at 5, children can meditate. If we look at the life of Ramakrishna Paramhans, from the age of 5, he would meditate. And we are part of this rich Indian psycho-spiritual culture where meditation is a way of life. Swami Vivekananda, read stories of all our great philosophers, saints and thinkers, and you will realize many of them had meditated from a very young age. So what are you waiting for? And lastly, to create happiness, empathize with other people. Empathy is understand how does it feel to be in another person's shoes. That beggar boy on the street, how would you feel if that was your reality? Somebody lost his or her temper on you. Was something happening? Were they well fed? Were they worried about something? So when you start walking in another's shoes, you are able to not take things personally. You also realize that there are multiple truths and people face situations in different manners. So this was my 11-step guide to creating happiness. So what is the last one you are going to ask me? I would say help another. Do some form of charity on a regular basis. Don't just do charity because it will look good on your college application. Do charity to experience the joy of giving. So, I hope you enjoyed the lesson, and let's create happiness together.